Hi, I'm Dr. Susanna Bozzoni, and today we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, or your EQ. What is that, and why do we care? Well, did you know that emotional intelligence is thought to be more important than IQ in terms of leadership and just having success in your life? Wow. That's pretty big. So let's think for a minute. Think of all those big brain people that have been in your lives or that you have come into contact with. Doctors, lawyers, professionals. They got really big brains, right? Well, how many of them had a big EQ, right? That is, how many of them were empathetic? Talk to you as if they were putting themselves in your own shoes and looking at it from your point of view. How many of them really listened actively, waited before they gave their opinion, and just listened to everything that you had to say, and then decided to give you their conversation piece? How many of them managed their emotions effectively with good regulation, recognizing if there was a mistake that they took ownership and responsibility for it and then allowed themselves to release it? Well, that's kind of a few things that are involved in emotional intelligence. And I can certainly say that I don't have this nailed. Holy cow, right? This is a journey and I am only at the beginning of it. But I encourage you to join me in this journey, that we can grow this, because this is really big. So I'm going to give you 3 tips just to help that I am working on to grow my EQ. So number 1, let's try to cultivate more empathy. Thinking of things from the other person's point of view, standing in their shoes and seeing that. And what's one applicable way that you can do that? Well, you can read fiction books. Who knew? Yes, that's been shown to grow emotional intelligence in people. And always in the past, I've been so otherwise preoccupied at growing my IQ and reading nonfiction books and science-related things around the topics of science, etc., that I've missed an amazing opportunity to read fiction and to truly grow my understanding of other people. So that's one thing. Read fiction books. Something else, a piece of emotional intelligence is to understand people's emotions well and to perceive them accurately. So imagine you're at a meeting at work and Kathy is giving you what you think is a stink eye, right? Right? So you're like, oh my God, why is she mad at me? What is going on? Well, the truth is that if you are not in a good emotional state yourself, specifically if you are not well slept, that is well rested, you are more likely to misperceive other people's emotions. And think of the magnitude of what that could do in this work meeting. I think Kathy is giving me a stink eye. Thus, I've lost my confidence. I lost the idea, what we were going to talk about. Now I think that she's turned on whatever this idea was, when in actuality, Kathy has gas. And I've completely misunderstood what Kathy's stink eye that I perceived was. Actuality had nothing to do with me. Right? So understanding that our perception creates our reality, but our perception will be more likely to be inaccurate if we are not well slept. So tip number 2, prioritize your sleep. That's really big. Finally, tip number 3 is, as a journey towards more self-awareness, we need to be more aware of what our triggers are. Right? So I need to recognize that my goal is to manage my emotions more effectively with rational behavior, not irrational behavior, not to react, but to act with intention. So to do that, I gotta take a deep breath. I've gotta look with curiosity, not with criticism. I've gotta stop being so self-critical and be more curious. Why am I reacting like this? And be okay with what is. And I gotta say, with me personally, I am a big reactor, and this is something I'm working on a lot. But what are the common triggers is fear, right? Fear of 2 things. One is fear of failure, right? Oh my gosh, really, I've realized that I've messed up here, so I'm blowing up, even though it's my own fault, right? And I need to be compassionate to that. Or fear that, for example, my kid's gonna hurt themselves. So what do? I blow up at them for not tying their shoe when I've told them to do that so many times, when in actuality, I'm just afraid that they're gonna hurt themselves. So this requires self-awareness and a little taking a deep breath and getting curious and non-critical. So I hope this helps. Please join me on my journey, on your journey, on our journey to develop and cultivate more emotional intelligence among us. And let's see what happens. Thank you so much for your time.